Greetings, this is Star Illumination. It is Thursday, 19th of October, 2023. It's just a little quickie video. It's an alarm bell, it's alert, and it's a flashing orange. I personally see it as a flashing red light. Just depends on your perspective. A lot of people won't notice, won't even care. But anyway, here we are. You know, when people talk about they, what do they mean? Oh, they're turning down they're turning off the water. Oh, they just repaired the roads. Oh, they just said there's a new president. Oh, they. Who is they? Well, there's lots of them. In the context of this video, they is this thing here. This is the United States Federal Reserve Bank. Okay, it's gorgeous, isn't it? It's absolutely beautiful. It's the #1 bank in the world, and this bank is nothing to do with the federal government in America. It's owned and operated by a bunch of shareholders, mostly big name banks that we've already heard of, plus a bunch of private shareholders way deep in the background that are, you know, so elite they are nameless. Anyway, you can do a lot of studying about the United States Federal Reserve. There are people who I trust and believe that feel that we don't even need this thing at all. And I agree with that. I think it would be much healthier if this thing didn't exist and we just had natural banking that would occur in regional ways or maybe national ways that functioned as a very simple, straightforward bank. Okay? If you want to get involved in borrowing and lending and all that, but it can be much simpler. That's another subject for another video. This video is about a crisis that pivots around this thing, because this thing is at the very epicenter of the global financial system. Every other country in the world has a central bank modeled on this bank, because all those other countries realize that if they don't mimic or emulate this system, they are doomed. The biggest war in the world today is in the financial markets, the FX markets, the foreign exchange markets. The most powerful weapon in the world is the United States dollar, as owned and operated and managed by this entity here. It's presented to the world as the most noble, kind, generous, and well-meaning entity out there with a certain mandate to make sure that employment is good and the economy is healthy and there is good stewardship of American finances. It's all a facade, the whole thing. Anyway, I could make a super long video about all this stuff, but all I'm saying is that right now, like I've been saying for a long time, and like a lot of the other financial pundits that I enjoy, that I actually trust, we're looking at a crisis, a global financial crisis, most likely the epicenter being here in the United States, for multiple reasons, explained on another video perhaps. And I believe they are right. And what I've learned through my own astrology own studies is that timing and timestamps and calling a time and a day is a very, very, very delicate matter, because people don't want to do it. If people actually knew the time and day that a certain stock price or market price would go up or down, they could just trade and make money just simply by watching their clock, like, oh, buy. Oh, okay. Sell. Okay, yeah. Okay. Anyway, so going back in time, Pluto was in Sagittarius at around the end of 2008, and then it went into Capricorn. Okay, that was a global financial crisis at that cusp. We're now heading to another one, and there's multiple crises cusps on the way, but I've got one for you right now. I'm just going to share it. I could go on for hours. I just want to alert you, when you see this date, please allow 2 weeks in advance and 2 weeks after this date to be observant. I'm going to be watching this very carefully. Let's have a look over here. First of all, here we go. Global financial crisis, 13th of November 2023, specifically 3:33 a.m. If this doesn't scare you, I don't know what will. This is one of my Terralumination Astrodoodles. And, you know, it has red and green bits and pieces all over it. It shows you where the planets are doing what they're doing. And every now and again we have these patterns and alignments that can be translated. Like this could be the birth chart of somebody. If somebody was born on 13th of November 2023 at 3:30 a.m., this is what their birth chart would look like. Okay, I can do this because there's a way to do this using one of these. Okay, so I'm just advancing the clock a little bit here to this critical date here. Why is this date here? Here. Why is this date so critical? Well, first of all, it's a Scorpio new moon, so that's always important. The new moons and the full moons. Saturn is already just turning direct, and so on and so on. We will have just come out of the second eclipse over here, and so on. And then, here we are. So on this date, we have the Scorpio new moon. There's the sun, there's the moon, all aligned together, and there is Mars. Okay, they're all conjoined over there at the degree of, what is it, roughly the 19th degree. So right there, like where my little chart says. And it just happens to be in a stark, vicious opposition to Uranus and Taurus at about the 23 degree mark, Jupiter at about the 19 or 17 degree mark. So this is like an orb of influence, okay? But essentially, this is what we've got. This is very, very nasty. It indicates full opposition in a very warlike dynamic. Mars, the god of war, weapons, fighting, conflict. I mean, there's other nice expressions of Mars as well, but in a situation like this, I have a feeling we're going to see the most volatile and unhealthy, shadowy side of the expression of Mars. And in Scorpio, it's going to be ruthless and utterly relentless, okay? So it's a war. It's a battle between what I think of as the global banking system, the world of other people's money, the world of that big bank I just showed you, and all the other central banks across the world of fake money, the world of fiat money, the world of make-believe money. Remember, money is a belief system if you want to really get into it. Of course, I have this famous book, Global Restructuring, January 2020. So it might sound old right now, but everything in here is highly pertinent to what is happening today. And let's say the virtual astrological time bomb that dropped at this point is still resonating today in the very early stages of what could be considered like an astrological nuclear bomb. And you know, it kind of goes in waves. But anyway, this is just one example of one of the shock waves. Over here, the world of fake money, big banks, big institutions, BlackRock, Vanguard, the Federal Reserve, the global central banking system, the Bank of International Settlements, the IMF, the World Bank, the European Central Bank, all the global central banks, the global stock markets, all the global derivatives, all the global debt, all of that stuff over here is in a vicious war against the world of real money, hard money. That would be things like you, with your money, your value, your values, your gifts, your talents, the cash that you have in your hand, the gold coins, the silver coins that you own outright in your person, the titles that you own outright to your car or your house or anything of significant value, art pieces, antiques, gold watches, gold jewelry, valuable tools for maintaining a house or building a house or doing construction or making or doing anything, plus all the skills and talents that go with it. Your earnings, your personal wealth, stuff that you own, that is under attack by these people. These people are trying to create a world to destroy you and your wealth, take it all for them, where they control it with a globalized CBDC, central bank digital currency. The thing is, for them to execute their evil plan, they have to get it so close to manifesting in the world in 3 dimensions that they have to describe it and implement it to the point where, oh, we the people notice it. Like, and if you're smart and you're aware, you'll realize that, oh my God, what they are trying to do is pure evil. It's financial tyranny versus financial freedom. Financial freedom is also under tremendous pressure and shock right now because the heavens, the sacred geometry, the solar system is trying to force humans to evolve in their understanding of money, wealth, finance, values, and so on. And what people are discovering, especially in America, is that they've been scammed for hundreds of years. Well, scammed especially since 1913, when the Federal Reserve banking system was instituted and fiat money was instituted across America and ultimately to the rest of the world. And it works beautifully for the people who propagate the system. In fact, what it is a system that is designed to bleed you of your wealth and put it back in here into their pockets. I call it the debt farm. United States debt farm. We the people, are being farmed. We are being farmed by the owners of the debt farm, which is that big building that I just showed you. And that big building, the Fed, it works in collusion with the United States federal government and the major retail banks to institute all this stuff and make it happen. Of course, there's marketing and everything like that, so that you become a willing participant. So every time you get your, let's say you just got out of school, you're matured and you got a paycheck or whatever, and you think, well, what am I going to do? I'll just cash it out. Okay, you go to a so-and-so and cash it out, and then you got paper. But it's actually becoming very difficult sometimes to use cash to do things. So you go, oh, well, eventually I'm just going to have a bank account. I can't function without a bank account. It's like I can't function without a car. So eventually, like, millions of people in America, you have bank accounts and you are heavily conditioned to borrow monies on credit cards, for cars and for houses and for college and for business. It's all borrowed money. That money is created out of thin air. It's not money, it's currency. It's a belief system that's represented as tokens and digital things that they call money. And it shows up in paper as money as well, but it's really just currency. The real value is like your skills, your talents, your health, the people that you love. Your time is very valuable. Your talents and gifts and resources are very valuable. The money, the gold, your works of art, whatever it is, things of real value that you own. Well, guess what? They want all of it, and they're finding ways to suck it out of you. They've been doing it very well for 110, 20 years, okay? But it's running out of momentum because people are figuring out this plan doesn't work for me or we the people anymore. We realize that we're being farmed. So a new movement has occurred, especially in the world of crypto and the world of learning and study and awareness, that we need to go back to basics. A lot of people are looking to gold and silver and commodities to get back to basics. They're looking to ways to get rid of all their debt. Even if you have to file bankruptcy, get rid of your debt. Find a way to pay off your car and own the title. Find a way to pay off your house and own the title. Find a way to pay off your credit cards if you don't want to file bankruptcy. Find a way to pay off your college loan. Find a way to pay off your business loans. Get out of debt. There is a form of debt that is healthy, but in general, that's not an option until you understand how money really works, and you can use debt as a tool to enhance yourself rather than being screwed over by the world of OPM over here. So I look at it in simple terms. This is the world of real money. This is the world of fake money. It's a war. And I see that there is going to be a collapse, some kind of implosion in the global financial markets, because this is very, very extreme. And I'm going to be watching the headlines for about 2 weeks beforehand and 2 weeks after. Who knows? I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to be watching, because there are a lot of financial pundits out there all over the world, over the internet. They're all saying any minute now we could have a mass implosion. It's going to be a mass recession. It's going to be deflation. It's going to be a full-on depression. Oh, the stock market's going to collapse. The dollar is collapsing. Everyone else in the world is de-dollarizing. The interest rates are going up and up and up and up. The value of the dollar is going down, down, down. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. What's going to happen now? What now? What now? All I'm suggesting is that with this big marker here, this timestamp, we could actually put a time and a day. Most of those financial pundits won't do that, because no matter how smart they are, most of them don't do astrology. There is a form of astrology that is financial. Some of it's very complex, and there's a few books over there about it as well. But how about this? Because I'm not a rocket scientist, and I can't prove any of this until after the fact. But let's say right now we are stating that there's going to be some kind of global financial crisis, like a financial earthquake, that's going to start somewhere and resonate across the world. I don't know where it's going to start. I wouldn't be surprised if it starts in the United States, but it could be anywhere, because all of this is interconnected across the whole world. The epicenter of this whole thing is right here in the United States. The United States Federal Reserve Bank and the Federal Reserve banking system. And that extends to Wall Street, the stock market, all the derivatives, all the debt in the world, US debt clock, 33 trillion. It all filters through here one way or another. Okay? Social Security, the military, the Treasury, all of that kind of stuff. Anyway, this is the epicenter. Well, this is the physical symbol and the embodiment of the epicenter of the global financial system. It's a racket. It's a massive, beautiful, extremely elaborate, extremely successful scam. And we're all part of it. There are people who figured out ways to get out of it, but it's actually pretty tricky. Anyway, I hope this video alert helps you, and maybe you can find out ways to protect your money, protect your privacy, protect yourself, and do your own research to understand how money really, really works, as opposed to how you've been conditioned. Okay, all the best.